All right, everybody, we are ready for the hot seat match. This is the 22nd U.S. Bar Table Championships presented by CueSports International, and it's also sponsored by Kamui and by OB. And I want to thank my partner Brian for carrying that last match through and giving me a little break so I could grab a sandwich and rest my voice a little bit. And Brian's just rejoined me here for the hot seat. And it's SVB and Danny Olson. It's the Battle of South Dakota here. Andy, can you make Brian hot, please? Thank you. And check.
Test.
Okay, Shane's going to break. Okay, Shane's breaking here in rack number 1. And we got our headsets back working. So we're ready to bring you this terrific match. The winner of this match goes to the finals tomorrow, guaranteed at least second place, and also guaranteed, I believe, $3,000 is the second place money. And the loser will be guaranteed third and $1,500, but he'll have to work his way back. And you can't help but be impressed with how Danny Olson has played so far in this tournament.
Well, he could have easily lost the last match where we did commentary on with Oscar.
Oh, yeah?
Held himself together at the end. But he's got a whole different animal here. The boss, Mr. Shane Van Boening. Pretty much the #1 player around. He's won a lot of events here at the U.S. Bar Table over the last few years.
That is for sure. He's got a handful of 9-ball titles, a handful of 10-ball titles. He's got a couple of all-arounds, I think. But the interesting thing, Brian, is his best game is 8-ball on a bar table,
which he hasn't won.
He's never won the 8-ball division, and I know it gnaws at him. It means a lot to him to win it. So I'm looking for him to come out really strong in the 8-ball tomorrow, but comes out really strong every day.
Well, the 8-ball is the shortest race. It's raced to 5. It's also the one with the most players, so therefore the most kind of landmines.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest prize, too.
And the biggest prize.
So just like that, Shane does his job, and now Danny has an opportunity to do his. So here's how it stacks up for the rest of the night, everybody. Following this match, we will have the 7th, 8th place match. And then approximately 10 p.m., we will have the 5th, 6th place match for you. And that'll take us to our final 4 players tomorrow. And we'll keep you posted tomorrow as to the schedule for that, because the 8-ball starts tomorrow as well.
For those of you that weren't here for the previous match featuring Danny, I can tell you that he's from South Dakota, just like Shane. He's 22 years of age, and he's something of a veteran now in the pool scene. He's not here by accident. He can really play. These guys are just smashing the rack compared to Corey. And he got the 1-ball where he wanted, but getting from the 1 to the 2 could be a little tricky because he is hampered by all of these balls in the middle of the table. He's going to have to jack up over, for sure. Looks like he can jack up over the 4. But how do you get on the 2? Do you try and draw it?
Yeah, I think you got to hit, even though he's jacked up, Ryan, if he can, he's got to hit this like 7 o'clock on the cue ball, and 1 rail diagonal just past the side.
There is a shot with extreme topspin here where you can kind of make the cue ball turn over and walk its way down the right-hand side of the table.
Yeah, but elevated, I think.
Well, it might be easier elevated than the draw shot. It depends on how much
distance between the 4 and the cue ball.
Well, what I'm thinking more is like where he has to put his bridge. You see, now he's way back here by where the 2 is for this bridge.
Yeah, so
well, this makes everything more difficult.
Right.
I think I might just think I might just try and get the cue ball to the right-hand side of the table somewhere and just take the cut on the 2. And yet, that still leaves a problem with getting on the 3. Okay, he played to bank the 1.
Very smart shot there. Is it going to fall?
He
Yeah,
made
it is.
the bank.
But he didn't get. Okay. He didn't get a real good reward for that shot. But he did manage to tie up the 7-9. So that's going to require some attention as this rack unfolds. Can he graze it?
He's got a shot at the 2, like he can see it.
Okay, he can hit it.
Can he theoretically can cut it in the side, but I don't think that's really an option.
I'm thinking maybe can he bank it at the 4 and try to keep the cue ball behind the 3-5?
Well, the question is how much 2 does he have?
Well, not enough because he's looking at a 2-rail kick.
Then maybe he can't see. He must. If he's looking at a kick, he can't see it at all. But I think he can hit it. At least, no, I'm wrong. Because he's looking at kicking between the 9 and the 6 to hit the 2, trying to hit about half of it and leave the cue ball behind, behind the sort of 3-5. That's dicey.
Well, especially because he's going to have to hit the 2 with enough force to get it to a rail.
Yeah, well, if he manages to hit the left-hand side of the 2 and then billiard the 3, he should do well. Okay, he kicked it right in the hole. If it's got the speed, which it did.
Well, now he's got almost the same thing going the other way, but at least I think he can hit the 3 this time.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, I don't think he can hit the 3.
Maybe he can't. He's looking going through the gap, right? Yeah.
Well, now he's looking at nipping the 3, but where do you go from this? You could go right in the pocket.
Yep.
Pretty sure he has a kick between the 4-5. And if you do it that way, you're looking to hit the top side of the 3 and knock it towards the 6-9. I just don't see a lot of value in brushing the 3. I think the kick has got to be the shot. Problem with brushing the 3, even if he has it, is there's no real safety, and there's a lot of bad things that can happen. This, at least, he's got a good chance that something good could happen. Probably hit medium speed. Okay, he hit it firmer than I thought he would, but he did well. Tied the 6 up even more, the 6-9-7. Well, interestingly, they may actually be dead.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Shane takes a cut at this, because as you say, I think if he runs into the 9 with the cue ball, the 7 could go right in, and even if he doesn't, but he makes the 3 and doesn't get a big double kiss, the cue ball could stay right there where he could see the 4. Now, he might not do it. He's probably going to just feather it. No, he just decided to go ahead and take the safe and open up the 6-9-7.
Well, I think he executed that shot fairly well, but he may have left him part of the 3. Did he leave him enough to make it?
I don't know. It's hard to tell from the camera angle. My initial reaction is he doesn't have the whole 3 ball. But he could put it on the bottom rail and bring the cue ball back down here.
The balls in the end rail are now open, more or less. Okay, he had a shot and he made it, and he's got position on the 4.
Boy, was that an excellent shot. Look at that speed, huh?
Very nice shot. So now make the 4 and leave yourself an angle where you can just walk the cue ball into the gap between the 9 and the 7 and the 6.
It almost looks like a stop shot will do that.
Well, the question is, do you want to have the cue ball walk there on its, straight in that
or
gap, or do you want
off the side rail,
or do you want to play off the side rail
Yeah.
with English? I kind of favor the side rail
I
because
do
then
too.
you can go a little firmer and open those balls up. The way things are right now, if he landed on the 6 straight in, he'd still have to develop the 7.
But the only thing about your shot is it's a longer it's a longer distance from the side rail in from where the cue ball would be if he takes that angle. But I think he's just going to float. I don't think he's got any other choice here now but to float at the 9.
And if he's got the right angle, he'd like to come off the rail
and bump the 9 out, yeah.
So we'll see.
I think it's critical that Danny gets out here. Oh boy, how perfect was that?
No.
Or is it?
Or is it perfect?
Well, I know he can make the 6, but will he have access to the 7?
Well, he hit the 9 with the cue ball. I don't think it moved more than a fraction of a millimeter, but it may be enough to make it where the 7 doesn't go now. In fact, it really looks like the 7 doesn't go to me. So is he going to come with the trick shot to try and play this sort of masse draw to come across to this side of the 9-7? That's what Efren would shoot. Or he plays the safety, executes it perfectly. That's a very, very good shot. That's how 22-year-olds play.
Yeah, but he's got the experience of a 52-year-old.
That's true.
Well, he's got a perfect angle to get the cue ball back where it is now, but is that going to be good enough? Can he get in there? I think he can.
Don't think
but
it is.
It's really tight.
He may be forced to play this with inside and try and come down the left-hand side
Short-sided.
of the table and either open the 7-9 or play position for another safety.
He's cueing to the left of the cue ball, though. I think there's enough room, Brian. I think the reason he chose this shot on the 6 the last time is he couldn't hold the cue ball. Now with the cue ball there, I'm pretty sure he can get in there.
Well, he wouldn't have played it like this
right,
if he couldn't.
exactly.
So that's going to tie the score, I believe. Still pretty thin on this 9. He will take a quick look to see where the line of the cue ball is as he cuts in this 9.
Yeah, I don't think there's any threat to the corner pocket here with a high ball.
2 rails on the side is a danger.
I don't think he'll hit it that firm.
He hit it firm.
Yeah.
Watch the side pocket here. Well, he's okay.
Nicely done.
Well played game by Olson, and we're tied at 1-1. Successful break. The 2 went in. The 4 is tied up. Doesn't pass the 9. He has the option of playing for the 4-6-5 combination. Sorry, 4-7-5 combination. And that may be what he chooses to do. I think it seems, on bar tables, combinations, even a 3-ball combination, is very workable.
Yeah, you would never do this on a big table. I mean, unless
you might,
unless they were wired or something.
But he's still, even then, he's still got the problem of the 6-8.
Yeah,
so he's looking at both of those situations. Now, if he decides to...
But if he plays the 3-ball combination, the 4 is going to kind of replace the 7 and be right there where he could maybe open the 6-8 up. He may have to play a second combination.
Can't quite make up his mind.
Yeah.
And this is important. Always make sure you know what you're going to do. Before you, it sounds kind of dumb to say it, but believe me, a lot of people shoot before they're ready, myself included. So, you know, he's doing the right thing. He's making sure he has his plan programmed in before he commits to this one ball. No, he's not on. From here, he's going to be playing the combination next.
Oh, I think so, absolutely. Now he's looking at, no, he's not looking at the 4-9.
He's kind of looking at the 6-8 and what to do there.
Yeah. You know, the 6-8, if they're within a quarter inch of each other, that can easily be thrown into the corner pocket up top.
And judging from the monitor, it looks like it's missing by quite a bit. But you're right.
But there's so much, well,
or newish cloth.
But there's so much distance. You've got, you know, you got a lot of room for that thing to move.
Well, I'll yield to the straight pool player on that stuff.
Well,
he's more or less landed. He's landed well on the combination, but not ideal.
Yeah, he has the cue ball going away from the 4, and he'll have to stun it to miss the 9 as well.
I think he might come back, Ken. He might draw
Just
to the
draw
side
it
rail,
into the side rail.
But then the 4 figures to walk towards the 6 here.
See, that's what I thought. The 4 might stick around where he could
really
open he could open the 6 off the 4.
Very well played. So
yeah.
now he should be able to hit the 8. Actually,
hit the 8, right? Just move the 8, and the 6 is there. Well, he didn't want to hit the 8 that full.
Did not open up. He does not have a shot here. I don't.
Yeah, I think he does. He may
no,
have to
it's
run.
really thin if he does. And he's got to play a lot of draw to draw above the 7 and back out.
You don't think he can run into the 7?
I feel like if he's going to cut it, he's going to draw it above the 7.
Yeah, he may hit the 7th going this way, though.
Like this.
Oh.
Okay, well, I guess he had more of a shot than I thought, but he played it with the draw as I thought, and that will take us to a 2-1 lead for Van Boening.
That's why he's one of the all-time greats. He can navigate through minefields.
Yeah, if you watch the top players play, they deal with those tough layouts just game after game after game.
Right.
I mean, we all get the easy ones, right?
Sure.
But I mean, he hit that combination like at the perfect speed to control all 3 balls. And he lined that up and predicted what was going to happen.
You guys out there ready to play some more bar box trivia? I've got a few more questions here. I'm going to hit you with one after this rack.
After the rack?
After the rack, and then I'll give you the next rack to think about it. This looks very appealing.
It's a roadmap here, Kenny.
Yep. Straight on the 2 in the side. He just, if anything, you want the angle going away from the 4, so he's going to have to shade it just to the diamond past the side pocket here with the cue ball. And that's right where it is, in line with the diamond past the side. Now he has really no issues whatsoever. Little distance from the 5 to the 6. I'd want my cue ball kind of somewhere near the head spot.
Yeah, middle of the table on the 6.
Middle of the table.
That's all that's necessary.
Anywhere. Right. And that's where he went, right near the head spot. And now he's got the 1 rail low left drag draw at the 6, coming right down the line. once you get on that line, it's just a matter of how far away you're going to be from the object ball, but you're in line the moment you hit the cushion.
That's what everybody strives for when you play position.
Right.
You want the cue ball going into the target line as opposed to across it. Got a tiny little skid there, but it didn't affect the shot.
Danny just looks quite relaxed out there, you know. I don't think the moment or the opponent has any effect on him at all, at least so far.
Well, he's very solid, no question. I wonder if there's any, residual South Dakota rivalry going on. If he's played Shane before, if he's got some history between them, or if, how many times they've met.
Yeah, I don't know that at all. For me personally, and I've seen Shane play for 7 or 8 years now, probably more than any other player, but I've never seen these two matched up in a tournament before. Not that it hasn't happened.
Well, Shane has not lived in South Dakota for quite a while.
Well, I understand.
He lived in Vegas for, probably 6 or 7 years, I think.
Two got a little funny. He's going to have to draw this back and miss the side pocket. I think he has to. I'm not sure if the angle, he's kind of in my way, but I think he can cheat this enough and just draw straight back, Brian. What do you think?
It looks workable.
Okay.
The 4 doesn't pass the 6, obviously.
Yeah,
that's the ball next in rotation after the 2. So he'd like to have an angle where he can bounce down.
Right. But even if he's straight, I don't think the 4-6 is going to be, anything he'd be afraid to take on.
So now he's going to have to fit the cue ball. I kind of wonder whether he'll come between the 7 and the 9. Got to stay in the middle of the cue ball here. Really pop it. Came on the above the 7, just as good. But he ended up on the cushion.
Yeah, but I don't think he's too concerned about that because a straight in on the 5 will work with a stop shot.
Straight in on the 5 in the upper
in the long
pocket,
corner.
Can he land there?
Well, that's it. Does he have too much angle?
Does he try and go between the 8 and the 5? That seems a little risky.
I think he's going to slow roll it.
Slow roll it with spin.
Yeah, there's not many people that aren't Filipino that are better at that type of a shot than Shane.
He's still pretty thin on this 5, Ken.
Yeah, he sure is. It looks easier on the table than it does on the monitor.
And where does the cue ball go? You can't go back and forth. The 9's in the way. If you draw it, you're going to.
How about right into the 8 full in the face? I know you risk the 9 hooking you, but the 6 can be made rail first as well.
That may require a little bit of inside which he's playing low left, planning to spin around, trying to make the 6. And he did make the 6, and he got position. See, this is the kind of thing that, that was a tricky situation. He just handled it like that was what he does for a living.
Yeah, just
because he does.
Well, but just the pure recognition that that's the right way to play the 5 is to play the 6 as well.
That was the right way.
Or at least bump it.
Couldn't avoid really. There was no pattern that worked.
Right.
Where you weren't going to run into the 6. So that gives him a 3-2 lead.
All right, well, we're going to throw out our trivia question here to you, and you'll have the whole rack to think about it, and you'll hear the answer afterwards. Okay, in the history of the U.S. bar table, in the 22 years it's been going on, 3 players have won the all-around more than once. Who are those 3 players? Once again, the all-around championship. Now this goes back to when there was only 8-ball and 9-ball being played, but it's still counted as an all-around title. So 3 players have won more than one U.S. Bar Table all-around championship. Who are those 3 players? Answer coming up after this rack. And a huge prize as soon as we can find someone to donate it.
You can tweet your answer to me at RapDog147 if you want to. The 2 goes in the side. The 1 is over the 6 pocket.
Excuse me.
Did the 3-6 tie up? Quickly looking at it. It's quite possible those balls are that the 3 doesn't go.
Yeah.
If that's the
And
case.
if it doesn't, he'll have to play the 1 in the side and go into the 9, or go into the cushion first and then hit the 3. Now, if he's looking there, he might be looking at a 3-6 billiard.
I don't know if the 3 doesn't pass, then the billiard's probably not there.
Yeah.
Like the billiard, the 3 off the 6 doesn't go either.
Right. No.
So the question is, how hard does he need to hit it in order to get the cue ball to hit the 3? Because you got to hit it from.
And he's got to hit it from behind.
You got to hit it from behind, and you prefer to hit the right-hand side of it. If
So
you hit
it
the
stays
left-hand
there.
side, you'll go into the pocket.
Right. If you hit the right-hand side
Or
of
you
the
could
3,
scratch.
the 3 will either stay there or go towards the pocket.
He's going to have to draw it on this line.
This is where I'm really impressed with Danny's ability to take his time when necessary and pick the right shot.
Let's see how he chooses to do this. Could just walk down and play safe too. Which, okay, either the 3 goes and he's decided it goes, or
I still have a feeling that the billiard's there if the 3 doesn't go. The problem will be no shot on the 3 afterwards, maybe, because the cue ball's going away and the 3 is going to stay right there.
well, if you think it goes, you better make sure it goes before you shoot it.
Yeah, but you've got to hit it with some pop to get the cue ball out for the 4 too.
No question.
And so you can't really cheat the pocket a lot if you need to cheat the pocket to make the ball. Maybe forward 3 rails.
Well,
or 2
that would be the way to go, I think.
Yeah.
Forward. He's got to go quite a ways.
He's not cueing that way though. Oh. Yep. It fooled him.
I'm not sure what he was trying there. Was he trying to play safe and have the cue ball
I think he must
stick
have
behind
been.
the 6 and then the 3 go 2 rails up by the 9, and then it just kind of nicked the point of the pocket, and that's how he managed to not get where he wanted to be. He did not sell it a shot, or did he? I believe he did. I think Shane's going to shoot this and go up table with
left-hand
English.
Yeah,
2 rails,
two rails
out of the corner.
Oh, he may go all the way to the kitchen and.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Excuse me, folks. Now he's looking to see if I glance off the inside of the 9-6, will that take me down to where I can shoot the 4 in the upper right corner? See if he just clips the 6 coming out. Cue ball's going to head towards the 7 in the side pocket. That's what he tried to do. Oh no.
No, that's a bad roll.
Yeah.
He chose to just come straight back at the 5-4, planning to because it was too hard to control going around the other side of the table. Went in the pocket off the 5 and basically handed this game on a plate to Danny Olson.
I like shooting the 5 in the upper right, play the 4 in the side, just bounce off the cushion, or even the 4 in the corner and roll down half a foot, and 5 in the corner where your cue ball is naturally headed.
Well, he's got to be wary of landing on the 6 in a way that he can't get on the 7. So that's the main priority. He'd like to be under the 6 if possible.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore...
No, I think he got absolutely where he needed to be on the 5.
I actually disagree with you.
Okay.
I think he's a little out of line here. I think he wanted to run another inch.
Well, yeah, that would have helped, but I think he can still stun this about 3 feet to the right.
And now, can he get to the 7 from the 6 without hitting the 9? It looks like he can. But I guess we're going to see. That's the problem. If the cue ball can comfortably go to the end rail without touching the 9, then he's fine. If the 9 is blocking slightly, then he's got a problem. And he decided to go, as you see, the cue ball is the pattern that that is perfectly fine.
Yeah, that was very good judgment there to shoot that shot that way.
I believe he felt that he could not do the 2-rail pattern, and that's why he chose that. Which is actually another shot that people should practice, because that inside 2-rail spinning shot will get you out of a lot of jams as well. Believe me. And that makes it 3-3. He looks very comfortable playing Shane. But of course, it's deep in the tournament. He's played a lot of matches, and I think, you know, at this stage in the tournament, well, you're going to be right. Able to play your game against just about everybody.
And he feels, you know, obviously like he belongs here. He didn't get here by accident. Okay, we'll give you the answers to the trivia question here. The question was, which 3 players have won the U.S. bar table all around more than once? Well, the guy breaking is one of them, and the other 2 after the break shot. All right. Shane is a 3-time all-around U.S. bar table champion, 2008, 2012, and I think 13 or 14. The other 2 players, Warren Kiamko and Glenn Atwell.
Portland, Oregon.
Now, arguably one of Glenn's all-around championships was a tie with other players, and one of Shane's was also with a tie, but they're still recognized as the all-around champion.
Shane broke the balls and got the shot, and he needed on the 1, but he's just slightly tricky on the 3 here to get to the 4. As always on bar tables, you know, the big problem is that there's lots of traffic and there's not very big areas, especially the way these guys are breaking the balls.
Yeah, he's going to have to hit this into the right-hand facing of the jaw.
Well, that seems like the best way to go to me.
Yeah.
Like to play the pocket, you know, kind of the opposite angle.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to play it that way because he's risking the ball not going.
Jamming,
yeah,
but
I think he's got no choice.
Okay.
Oh boy, what happened here?
Well, he got away with it.
Yeah, he did. And he got the angle too.
Still a little tricky. Yeah, he had to miss the 9. That was made it look easy, but that was not that routine. But it is now, I think. Shoot and stop.
Huh, I'm just curious which way he's going here.
I guess he's going to just try and...
Just
well,
two rails and the 7 in the other corner? I don't really know. I thought he'd play the other angle on this, so he'd bounce out and play the 7, you know, from about where he is now.
He maybe force the slop spin and play the 7 on the side.
Yeah, I think so. You are correct, Mr. Bryan.
That's not what he lined up for, I think, when he shot the...
no.
Was it the 4?
The 5.
The 5?
Yeah.
But it'll do.
Well, other than the scratch that occurred last rack with Shane scratching in the side, I don't recall a ball missed or an error by either player.
Nothing significant anyways. Only Danny's missed safety was a mistake.
Oh yeah, on the
but
on the 3-6.
Yeah. Well handled. 4-3 Van Boening.
You can see nicely right there that the official cue of the U.S. Bar Table Championship is OB, and the official tip of the USBTC is Kamui. So once again, we can't say enough how much we're grateful to those companies, along with our host here and sponsor, the Grand Sierra Resort right here in Reno, Nevada. And I'm not going to overlook our 4 supporting equipment sponsors: Diamond, Simonis, the Magic Ball Rack, and Cyclop 2 balls. So, rack 8 about to get underway. Danny Olson with the break.
Well, right off the bat, the problem getting on a 3, he's pretty straight on the 1. He may be forced to go all the way down with the cue ball, follow all the way down.
I'm not sure, Brian. I'd like to get the center camera maybe, and we'll have a look.
He could maybe drop to about...
I think just maybe, you know, halfway down the long rail, because I think he can get the cue ball at least 8-10 inches off the cushion. I don't think you want to risk coming all the way to the short rail here, because look where the 4 is. You don't need shape on the 4. You just got to have a shot on the 3 you can pocket.
He handled it well. Did he hit it too hard?
No, he's good.
Okay. The 5 remains a slight issue, as that it doesn't pass the 7.
Yeah, but the 4 lays well to get really good on the 5-7.
That's really the big problem from here. He made the winning shot, really. And the only tricky part is getting from the 4 to the 5, and then to the 6. He may just bunt and roll down and play the 5 in the lower right.
If it goes.
Yeah, it goes.
You just got to be careful you don't move the 8 into a position where it takes up the room that you'll need to pocket the 7 ball. Or
which he's looking at right now.
That's the danger here, and he's aware of it.
Or going behind the 8, which is another.
Yeah, I thought of that to
unlikely,
play the 5 on the side, but I think you're taking too much of a chance there.
I'm just saying that the cue ball could walk its way behind the 8 inadvertently, but.
Oh, yeah.
I think that he will not allow that to happen.
If the 5 passes the 6 in the lower right, I think he can roll full into the face in the 8 and control how far it goes. Okay, that's going to be all right. If
well, he's a little thinner on the 5 than he meant to be.
He is. But I think he can avoid the 9 ball. He may have to go 3 rails.
Yeah, I
can't
think he's
tell.
going to draw up above the 9 and go 3 rails to land on the 6 and try and just land above the side pocket.
Right.
Or surely he's not looking at cutting it in the side.
No, I think he was looking at the, I think he was looking at the cue ball direction. Yeah.
Or is he cutting it in the side?
Oh my God.
I think he's cutting it in the side.
I guess.
Planning to go 4 rails with the cue ball? Missed it.
Yeah, but
missed it. Almost fluked the 9.
Almost fluked the 5 and the 9.
Did not leave a straightforward shot. He did leave a bank.
I'm going to guess just because of the shot choice there that the 5 didn't go by the 6.
That's the only thing I can think.
Right, but if it didn't, why did he play the 4 the way he did?
Well, he must have planned.
Unless he was playing for the 5 and the side all the way.
Farther down off the 8.
Right. Okay.
Shane just swished the bank.
Big swing game here, Brian.
It is. This guy just does not make mistakes. You can't leave him anything.
5-3 and breaking.
He knows it. Look, he's got the little pop in his step. One thing about Shane, he knows what the money looks like.
Yeah, because he has it all.
Yeah, he does not. He knows how to go and get it. Sometimes when you are a little new to tournaments and playing and all that kind of stuff, some players, they are a little scared to win, a little fearful of winning. But others, just when they see it, they just go right for it. Siegel was like that.
Yeah, very much so.
Right?
Yeah.
And Johnny is like that. And so is Shane.
And Earl?
Earl, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, Earl, you'd have to say he's like that too. He's like a lot of things.
5-3.
Okay. A different look. Did he hit it too soft?
I would think so, just by the way the balls are clustered and the 4 ball is sitting right there.
If he'd hit it harder, the 1 was on a path to land right on the middle of the end of the top cushion. So
yeah, he would have been happy with that.
He's just unlucky, really. So he's going to play.
Push for the jump. And he's got to take this, I think. I don't think he can give this back.
Well, the question is, if you take it, can you get on the 2?
Oh, I think it's pretty natural. If you make the jump shot, it looks like the cue ball is just going to hit the side rail and come almost all the way across. No, straight across. He's cutting the 1 to his left.
He's hitting low on the ball.
Yeah.
So if you're going to jump, you might want to jump it with kind of a high ball jump. That makes it more likely you'll jump off the table, sadly. Didn't get over. Yeah, I needed a little finesse. Well, Shane tempted him with a shot, and he did not execute it. So now Van Boening needs to get on the 4 from the 2. That's the... And then on the... This is not the most straightforward of rack because the 5 is also in a... kind of
covered.
Difficult position. So how do you choose to do this? I think if you can get to where he can run the cue ball between the 6 and the 7 to get around the table for the 4, that would be the first.
Yeah, I think he could. I think
strategy.
I think he's probably going to just draw down
straight back.
Just draw straight back, and I think eventually the path to the 5 ball, he'll use the 8 as his target.
Well, does he come straight back and try and land on the rail? The top rail?
Actually, because it's straight and your wrist drawing it into the pocket, I think maybe he's going to come just past the head string. I know he'd like it to be on the bottom rail, but I think it all depends on the angle he's got on the deuce.
Once again, he's taking his time to plot this out. Make sure he's got it wired in as far as exactly how he wants to deal with this. There's no hurry. There's no shot clock.
No.
He can take as much time as he needs. And it really is an important juncture. If he wins this rack, he'll go 6-3 up. A 3-game lead and a rotating break is a big lead. I feel like he maybe comes just straight back, all the way back on a direct straight line.
Yeah, that's what I think he's going to do too.
Oh, well, he cut the ball more than he meant to. Now he's out of line. I really think he was trying to come back on the right-hand side of the four as we look at it, right? And bounce so that he could come. Right, as opposed to what I call where he wanted to be under the four. I think he played the bounce to have a, the other opposite, the other angle. So now
he's going to come behind the balls.
He's got to control the four.
He did not.
Wow.
But this is no bargain.
That is a rare error. Hit the four a little thick. So, what can Danny Olson make of this? He's got a cut on the four, which he'd basically have to play pocket weight if he wanted to be on the five. He's elevated over
hampered,
the seven.
He's hampered by the seven, and that's going to probably affect his shot selection.
Looks like he was lining up for the cut then. Could cross the four.
Yeah, I thought of that too, but how do you get on the five if you do that?
Come under it, maybe.
Come back, yeah.
Go into it.
I see if you bank the four to try to come back under the five and you miss the four, it's going to come back over where Shane can probably see it.
Well, I don't really see a safety count. Nothing.
No,
decent,
no.
So he's
unless he could get to the low right on the cue ball and come back where it is now, I think he's got to go ahead and cut this.
Cutting at it, yeah.
And just bounce off the second rail. No good.
No good. So.
And actually, had he cut it properly, that cue ball would have gone another foot.
Still the problem of getting on the five. It's a narrow window.
Well, and even if he gets on it, it looks like he's going to have to run into the six. So he's going to have to control that and keep it near the pocket because the seven's there too.
Okay, I know the shot for that. See if he lands where he wants to. Okay, did the 8 get him a little bit? He kind of shook his head. I think if you had the cut, you would play to come off the side of the 6 and bank it across the table 2 rails to the right-hand corner and let the cue ball kind of go back into the middle of the table. But does he have the cut is my question, because he kind of was acting like he didn't.
I think he does. I just don't think it's as good as he wanted it to be.
Played the bank. Made it go right in the pocket. Didn't move the 5 off the magic rack before he shot it, which is amazing.
Boy, there is not much of an opening in the side pocket for this ball, so he may just roll him up on the 8.
Looks like what he's going to do. Thought he might take a shot at the side because it's kind of free.
Yeah, but
this
if
is
if it caught the point and came back, you can do this safe 100 times out of 100 and maybe make that shot 9 out of 10. And once again, he took the care to freeze him to the 8. It's just going to make the hit much tougher here. He's going to have to come wider if he goes past the 9-1 rail.
Even if he makes the 6.
Yeah, what good is that?
Going to put him in even worse position. But you've got to find some way to maximize your chances of winning the game from here. Whatever it is, it might even be tying up the 7-9. Quite frankly.
Yeah, but
that would be my absolute last resort. He looks like he's
kicking two
kicking
rails.
2 rails, trying to cut the 6 in.
I think the tie-up of the 7-9 wouldn't work because of the position of the 6 ball would give Shane an easy access to open it up with ball in hand. Watch, don't scratch off of this in the side.
Wow, it was a good effort. No,
well,
I was just saying the 7-9, tying it up might be an option.
Yeah.
In view of the fact that you're so dead, right?
Right. Well,
so
pick your poison, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You die just as dead.
Dead is dead, right?
All right, 6-3 for the original South Dakota kid.
Looks like our plan for tomorrow will be coming on the air at 1 o'clock Pacific in the afternoon with the opening of the 8-ball division. And then we'll get to the semis and the finals of the 9-ball later on in the afternoon. So set your devices accordingly for 1 o'clock Pacific on whatever day tomorrow is.
I believe it's Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. The 3-6 is pretty easy right there. Or the 3-9 after the 2 in the side, maybe.
This is really the problem with hitting these breaks this soft is you get a lot of congestion down there around where the rack goes. So you're constantly being faced with these kind of
it even looks, Brian, that the
tight
2
quarters.
Even looks to me like the 2 may go in the corner where he's standing.
Which would be the way
I'd rather
go,
play it in the corner if I'm playing for the 3-9. Sure. Just straight high ball here, 2 rails.
Because you know what Buddy Hall says.
Don't play position when you have position.
Oh.
Oh, what else does he say?
Sides are for suckers.
Oh. Yeah. Well.
That's gospel.
Oh, no, listen, the first guy that ever taught me straight pull said that. He's, and straight pull, you use them quite a bit, but he said, stay away if you can.
That's some good advice I got from him.
Okay, he's got the right angle. He's just got a little more distance, but...
Is he going to play the 3-9 after this? Because he's pretty straight on the 2.
I don't think he's got much of a choice. I don't think he can get the cue ball out for the 3-6.
A good way to play this shot, if you're going to roll the 2 in, is to actually play with drag and just let the cue ball float afterwards. He decided to pop it in.
If you can
hit
do
it really
that.
well. And the 3-9 looks pretty straight.
There's a lot of names for that, stun run through. And
no, but I mean, I play it with a really soft.
Right. No, I understand.
Bottom.
I understand what the drag shot that you were describing. With that kind of distance, though, I think he felt much more comfortable playing it that way. Good work.
Made the combo, 6-4. Van Boening gets the break, though. So after this, the next match is at 10?
8:30.
Oh, 8:30.
And then 1.
8:30 Pacific time. What's the 6 gonna do? Tried to snooker him.
Almost like that 4 ball the other
Yeah,
rack that got him. Yeah.
He adjusted for that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
This
the
is
next thing he's going to adjust is the scoreboard.
Yeah. Not quite a roadmap, but this is really the whole shot, the whole rack. Get
Just
on the
stop.
5.
Just stop. Yeah.
Back and forth, 6 in the corner makes sense. Game took just over a minute.
You're playing 8 ball, aren't you? Okay.
I am.
Good.
Or as I like to call it, stop shot. This tournament is called soft break, and then the weekend is stop shot.
I call it surgery.
Which, 8 ball?
8 ball on the bar box. Surgery.
Yeah, it's got some intricacies.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to get this game and then hope for something good to happen on Shane's next break.
Well, you can also look at it this way too, and I mean, certainly, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Of course not. Not when you're behind.
Yeah. Can he
He's got
cut
the
it? Can he cut it into the rail and have it go in off the 6?
Don't think so.
I don't think so either.
As I look at it,
Yeah,
I
I
believe
don't
he's going
think
to
so.
have to take the combination.
Yeah, and then
It may pass, like just barely, but I can't tell for sure.
Boy, it sure looks like it doesn't from here, Brian.
There's a lady in the audience who just looked at it. We could ask her, but she's like about 50 feet from us.
Well, she's guessing just like we are anyway, right?
She looks like a pretty good player. She's got a cue and stuff.
Oh, well.
So he's going to shoot the combo here, I would think. Where does the 1 go?
Well, it looks like the 1's headed to the 4 or in that vicinity if he hit, unless he just slow rolls it. But you got to be careful because at the angle he's going, the cue ball's headed towards the pocket.
Or do you whack it? Or is he ducking?
Maybe it goes and we're deceived. I think he's playing the combo too. Maybe.
I'll tell you, he's going to. He is
Safe.
ducking.
Boys. Oh, is that nicely done? Nice shot. Oh, tell me he left room.
That's
No,
incredible if he
no,
left the room.
No.
He's kind of.
No,
Oh, he's got to come with a sort of massé shot here.
How about hit the point, jump up in the air, and land on the 1?
Watch this, folks.
Yeah.
Here we go. He's trying to make the 6.
right.
That was like a Venom trick shot that he just tried right there.
Oh, that guy Venom, Jesus, don't get me started with him. That stuff's unbelievable. But anyway, back here, the 5 ball is the key ball, 4 to the 5. It's actually not as bad as it looks. If he was center table for the 4, then it's just 1 rail across for the 5. The 6 will be gone, so transition will just be from the 5 to the 7. And that's what he's looking at now.
Once again, he wants to get that plan set in his mind before he puts the cue ball down and starts shooting these balls off. I kind of think there's only one really good way to play this, which is 2 in the lower left. Leave yourself angle on the 4 to bounce 1 rail and just kind of stay in the middle of the table, and then deal with the 5 to the 7.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, if he's near the side pocket, he can make the 5.
Right. Should be able to get the cue ball to go around the 7.
Right, he could do that.
Let's just wait
or
and
he
see
could
how
draw
he gets
into
to
it
this.
depending on the angle.
You know, he's gone down to play the 2 on the side, which is fine.
Well, he could also follow the 2 forward about 3 inches, Brian, and take the other angle on the 4 ball and just draw over to the 5 instead of, 1 rail across. So he's got 2 choices as far as the line of position.
I'm trying to make his mind up. I personally prefer the angle, because when you try and leave yourself straight, if you get it wrong, even just by sometimes the tiniest amount, it can put you in a bad spot. Whereas if you leave yourself angle and you accidentally leave yourself slightly too much, you usually can work with too much. Not enough is tricky. So I believe I pull this back myself like a good foot.
Yeah, if that's his choice, it's got to come back at least that far. There's a moth flying around over there, just distracted him.
Well, he played to be straight.
He might come forward here. I'm not sure if he's...
I'm not sure what his plan is, quite frankly.
Because I think he should have had more angle. Because he's going to have to pound this if he's playing it this way. Come back underneath it. Nothing wrong with that decision.
All right. So Ken's going to go move the magic rack for him. The 5 must be sitting right on it. If he has the angle where he can just make the 5 and have the cue ball go naturally right around the 9, that would be ideal. I kind of Hello.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost my mic for a second there, but he played to hit the 7. That's fine. This will make it 7-5. Danny Olson badly needs Van Boening to slip up somehow in one of the next 2 racks that he breaks. it's going to be this rack. Break's just perfect.
Yeah, it looks like the 2 goes in the corner.
Past the 6?
I think it does, and if it doesn't, he sure has the 8, but I think it goes. Just follow under the 6 ball. Rack them up. Now, what do you like?
Well, I think he can play the 6 on the side for sure. He decided to go all the way around and play it in the corner.
He's just showing off now.
Well, that's a nice pattern.
Yeah, no, I mean he's just so confident and comfortable. It's sickening.
It's sickening that he's confident. When he wins every
he's
tournament he enters, why shouldn't he be confident?
Oh, if I could only have maybe just 1% of that. Just let me borrow some for a little while.
Well, you know, confidence is a funny thing. It's so easy to lose, and there's no real formula for getting it back.
There's no switch to turn on, is there?
And so when you have it, you better ride it.
Yeah, well, for like 8 years.
Right.
Well, we're kind of almost close to back on our schedule here, folks. It's 8:25, and our next match is due at 8:30, so we won't be too far behind. It's going to be the 7th, 8th place match. I do not know the players yet. You probably can find that out if you want by checking the brackets, if they've filled in yet. I don't know if all the 7 o'clock matches are done. This one did start maybe 20 past 7 because of the delay we had from the Oscar match. But Corey's match went pretty quick, even though it went hill-hill. So I assume Corey is out.
Corey must be out because that was a loser side match we
Yeah,
were commentating on.
That's right.
Okay, 3 to the 4, really the whole theory of this rack. Well, this shot to get on the 3, although I don't think it'll be any particular problem, but he's got to stay focused on that.
Well, he's over the 5 ball a little bit because he's got to hit with a little bit of a low right cue ball, and the angle on the 3, he'd like to be cutting the 3 to his right, and even if he had to run into the 8 with the cue ball, it'd be okay. So just got to come just to the diamond before the side pocket. That's where he is. Yep. Really nothing wrong with bumping the 8 here a little closer to the hole, but he doesn't have to. That's okay. And the 5 will still go by the 8 if that's the pocket he chooses.
But that was a potential hiccup.
Yeah, it was. But now he may...
And now he's kind of like got to figure out a way to get from the 4 to the 5 here. He's frozen the cue ball on the rail pretty much, or pretty close to frozen it. And
yeah, and if he slow rolls the 4, he risks having the 9 cover the 5, or at least
risks
enough of it.
Wrecking on the 6 is another problem. Can he come between the 9-6?
Yeah, I think that's where he's going.
Missed it.
Yeah. Tried to do more than the shot would allow him to do, but he's managed to put the 5 in a horrendous spot. I wonder if Shane's going to cut the 4 into the side off the 5.
That would be a good choice.
Yeah.
Or does he come 2 rails back and try and land straight on the 5? That looks like.
Yeah, evidently the 5 is far enough from the point that he can make it by the 8 ball. No, I guess he can't.
What a good shot that is.
You bet. To
Did he
force
get
that
there?
cue ball? No, he didn't quite get there.
This may bank.
He can bank it, yeah, if it's not on the rail. He's banking it.
This is one of the easier banks you'll be faced with if it is where I think it is.
Yeah.
Basically just hit it.
It's all speed.
It's got nowhere to go but in the pocket.
Well,
but the cue ball did not cooperate. You might have to bank the 6.
Well, the combination is not that difficult. It's just it's kind of blind because you're back cutting.
He's playing the combination.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah, I'd be getting up and shaking hands right now. I'm pretty sure Danny's going to give him the 9 ball. Maybe not. Well, as a shock to the pool world, Shane Van Boening is in the hot seat with a 9-5 victory over Danny Olson. Danny now goes to the left side final, awaiting an opponent. He's guaranteed minimum 3rd place. So we're going to go find out who our players are, and probably within 5 to 10 minutes be back with you for the 7th, 8th place match. Ken and Brian signing off for a few minutes here at the 22nd USBTC. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back.